Oh, hey there. You see, I got a few kidneys laying around that I need to sell. Yeah, unfortunately, they take up a lot of space in my room. I just got this new shipment of air recently, and I really hope we can finish off my collection of all the rare airs in the world. I'll do that.
Anime cafes. You'll see these around Japan from time to time. A new anime comes out that seems popular, has a legacy, and yeah, we'll use cafe for that. These have come with all sorts of fun-looking dessert-type foods and drinks with the characters slap on it, so it sells. I mean, people love merch of their favorite anime for a week, so why not sell them non-permanent goods that they keep buying for the rest of their lives? There have been plenty of cafes and bars in the past, but it's definitely appealed to anime fans, probably the most notable being cafes, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about real cafes whose sole purpose is milking anime fans. They usually take place in some large mall area in a big city of Japan, typically Tokyo, Akihabara, or Shibuya. God, I wish our malls were that cool. All they got is Dillard's. Now, Japan's done a lot, and I mean a lot, of these thingamajigs. Some classic cafes would be the Demon Slayer one, the Spy Family one, Zootopia, Kaguya-sama. There are a plentiful amount of companies whose sole purpose is hosting all these cafe collabs to advertise an upcoming anime.
Now, I've heard that all the food at these places look really good. The taste is quite subpar. Now, I would go and try these places out myself, but unfortunately, I live in an area where the greatest delicacy around is a Dollar General, so we're going to take matters into our own hands. I'll do it myself. So I'm going to a little place I like to call the kitchen. It's got everything you need here. Food, clothes, flower pots, shelter, you name it. You just gotta check out what's on the menu here. Scrumptious.
The Fruits Basket Cafe, released in Tokyo and later in Osaka to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the series and milk out a little more nostalgia from its fans. It, of course, comes with a lot of funny looking treats such as the pancakes, the somen, the curry, or the lattes with art of the characters printed on top of it, but I want to be boring.
Let's make the burger.
Go ahead and cook the burger, and don't you dare toast those buns, you don't want this thing tasting good. Get the lettuce, pat yourself, put on the tomato, the patty, unmelted cheese, build the sauce, and we have the burger ever. And the final taste? It's a mediocre burger. What did you expect? This cafe not only sold mediocre burgers, but also sold a ton of merch for this series, which is a common trope in these kind of cafes. Though sometimes somebody go the extra mile and throw in a ton of fan service into a place for legacy anime. For example, the Sailor Moon Cafe. During Sailor Moon's 30th anniversary, the Sailor Moon Museum opened up a cafe to bring in visitors, selling all sorts of treats referencing the characters in the show.
Alright, next is the parfait.
Yeah, this one's just a ton of layered jellies, sorbet, and cream. Looks cool, but it wasn't worth the 1480 yen. Remember I said these cafes are made to advertise a new anime? Well, a good example of this is the Chainsaw Man Cafe. To commemorate the completion of the first season of the show, a cafe popped up coming with classics such as the dessert cakes and whatever the hell this is.
We'll make the least interesting things here, the bread thing and the latte.
Get some bread, melt some cheese, put in the ingredients. We have something which is probably a plot relevant food item. I don't know, I never saw the show.
It's bread.
Latte's just gonna be some espresso dyed with black food coloring, milk, and strawberry jam.
This is not too bad.
Overall, cafes aren't strictly anime, but are very anime related. Well, there are cafes that are made to commemorate games such as the Kirby or the Pokemon Cafe. These ones are actually popular enough to be actual restaurants rather than a pop-up that only lasts for a brief time. Didn't know there was an audience for this. I'm personally more keen to the Kirby menu because I think it's the cooler food options like the star-shaped french fries, the carcade, and chemicals. Fucking chemicals!
I gotta make the chemical meal. Never mind, I'm gonna order in beakers.
And of course, I can't go mentioning anime cafes without mentioning VTubers. Plenty of different VTuber agencies in the past have hosted their own cafes throughout Japan and anime conventions. The one I'm going to be mentioning is the Hololive and Anime Plus Collab Cafe held in Singapore, which is really funny to me because nice. We of course have our classic parfaits, cheeseburgers, pasta, literal dirt. Oh thank god I have this. All I have to do for this one is get some chocolate pudding, forget through the hole at the bottom flower pots, freak out, try again, add Oreo shavings, add some berries, and we have that. Well, I guess make a cake and drink too. For the cake, try and layer a bunch of cakes on top of each other, fail, cry while leaving the oven on, and live with your mistakes. For the drink, make some hibiscus tea, cook it with sugar and water, pour the syrup at the bottom, get sparkling water and ice, and done. Well, I tried. That was all I was willing to bother doing, but hey, if I feel like it, I can bring this topic back up another time. But for now, I think I spent enough on ingredients to get rid of all my kidneys. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go finish off my air collection. I already got a ton of this.